Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're so very happy here today to have our next speaker here to join us on stage. But first, let me tell you a little bit about him first. Ladies and gentlemen, with a vision to promote the beautiful country of Pakistan and to create an attractive hub, an attractive country for investors, and not just local investors, but also foreign and international investors, he joined the prestigious Board of Investments of the Government of Pakistan as the chairman after the approval and also the endorsements by the country's cabinet. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with the greatest honor and pleasure that I shall invite on stage His Excellency, Mr. Naeem Zamindar, the Minister of State and the Chairman of the Board of Investments of the Government of Pakistan. The floor is yours.
Wow. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And welcome to our Honorable Minister, Dr. Ehsan Iqbal. So I just got a few points I want to talk about, right? First of all, in my mind, leadership is all about having courage to walk through, to follow through with your beliefs, to own your world, your responsibility. And we are responsible for this world that we live in, right? We own it. We own this country as well. As a Pakistani, I own Pakistan. And leadership means taking responsibility for it and driving it forward. And that's why I'm really proud to be here, because I think this is the right subject. What Asfar Ehsan, the founder of Nutshell, is showing is leadership. What Javed Akai, by supporting this initiative, is showing leadership. All of us, by being here, are showing that leadership, that confidence, that belief that we can make a better world for ourselves. I took this job, right? I just joined the government about 5 months ago. I used to be in the private sector. I've built the most successful company in Pakistan, right? Which is Mobiling Jazz. I've been a part of that team. I've done a turnaround of a publicly listed company in the past. I've been a venture capitalist in the Silicon Valley and in Pakistan. And for me to just give up everything and just join the government was taking ownership for my country's destiny. And having belief in this leadership that is in place right now. People are like our Prime Minister, people like the Honorable Minister right here, Ehsan Iqbal, who you'll hear, who are actually taking on this challenge to make this country a great nation. A country where every Pakistani can live up to his or her potential, right? That's what you want. This whole thing about being rich or poor, I don't think is as important. It's more important that we create a nation where people live with peace, with a sense of prosperity, with a sense of hope. And that's what we are trying to create. And, and what gives me confidence in Pakistan? I think there are a few things. One of them is our market potential, right? We are the 6th largest country in the world. Right? 6th largest market in the world. But in terms of GDP, we are a very small percentage. Guess what the first 5 are? China, India, USA, Brazil, Indonesia, Pakistan. And guess what the GDP of the top 5 country is, of the world GDP? Anybody wants to take a guess? It's 50% of the world GDP is these 5 countries. The 6th country, Pakistan, has only 0.3% of the world GDP. Is that an opportunity or not? I mean, we can easily double, triple, quadruple, and that's where the potential is. This is where the market is. And this is a nation of young people, average age 21, right? Full of hope. You see these young people, it doesn't matter where they are, they have hope, they have aspirations, they want a better world for themselves. And this is the energy that we need to unleash, and we will unleash, right? The second thing is our strategic position. This whole CPEC thing you've been hearing about till now, and I think it's been really well managed, is building the infrastructure, right, to get us connected to this vast hinterland, right, which is Western China and all of Central Asia. China is going to grow from a $10 trillion economy to a $40 trillion economy over the next 25 years. That's $30 trillion of new wealth being created, right? A lot of that is going to be in the western provinces of China. And Pakistan is now going to become an integral part of that supply chain, that value chain, right? That's huge. Resource-rich, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, all of these landlocked countries, Afghanistan, now have a route through Pakistan. And Pakistan has an access to this fast-growing, highly dynamic, resource-rich marketplace and economy. This is an unbelievable opportunity. This is one of those big pulls that Pakistan has to grow and become a country which transforms itself. And the third real opportunity that I see for Pakistan is the technology revolution. These young people are innovators, entrepreneurs. There's a word called jugaadu. Jugaadu is a local Urdu word which means, innovators. Pakistanis are natural jugaadus. We love solving problems. We've lived in constraints, and we know how to work ourselves out. But now we need to channel that energy into a force of innovation. The world is going to change dramatically over the next 10 to 20 years, right? Life will change in ways that we can't even imagine. I was part of the telecom revolution, and in the year 2003, there were 1 million users. By 2008, there were 100 million users in Pakistan. The same thing is going to happen to education, to healthcare, to energy access. Those dramatic transformations are about to happen. I think we're going to hit the inflection point in the next few years. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to tap into all of these things, right? And the fourth big opportunity that Pakistan has is this diaspora. There are 9 million Pakistanis outside of Pakistan, of which 1 million of them are millionaires, doctors, entrepreneurs, some of the richest people in the world, right? There are 31 billionaires of Pakistani origin outside of Pakistan, right? That's a fantastic resource base that we have. And we're going to tap into it. It helped China grow, it's helping India grow, and Pakistan is going to tap into the same potential. And as the Board of Investment, and this is part of my mandate, my primary focus is on 3 things. Number 1, making it easier to do business in Pakistan. Pakistan really messed up there, right? We are 147 out of 190 countries. And we have now put a task force behind it. The government is focused on turning this around. And we want to be, and the Minister of Planning put it in the 2025 vision that we will be in the top 50 countries in terms of ease of doing business. But I'm committing to you that we're going to do in the next 3 years. That's a commitment. This year, we will be in the top 100. With the World Bank, we're running a program. It's a 100-day sprint, right? To go dramatically change it. How are we going to do it? And the biggest way to do it is through digitalization. It used to take 28 days to register a company in Pakistan, 28 days. Now, you can do it in 4 hours. Why? Because through a digital platform, we're able to connect to 12 different departments. And you can do that simultaneously. And within 4 hours, you can register a company. So initially, we're going after the low-hanging fruit. We're trying to build the muscle, right, to do the more difficult ones, to really bring about the transformation required in the economy, to unleash its potential, to allow for this diaspora to come back and build businesses, for the Chinese, for yourself, for every one of you, to create the space, the investment climate which is conducive. And there are 4 C's to the investment climate, right? One is the convenience of doing business. The second is cost of doing business. Third is capabilities in the economies to do business. And fourth is concessions. We focused a lot on concessions, but it's time to change. It's time to focus on the top 3, and we're doing that. To the extent that the Prime Minister is now chairing the steering committee to make sure that this happens. When the Prime Minister himself takes notice of this and takes responsibility for this index, it's a very clear index, right? We're going to measure it every year, and you're going to know whether we are getting there or not. And keep a track of that. You'll see how we change. When you focus on something which is measurable. So again, somebody like myself coming from the business world is choosing to pick up these indexes and starting to say, whatever we can measure is what we can improve. The same thing we're going to do with the GCI, which is the Global Competitiveness Index. We want to be in the top 50 in the world, and we can do it. That's one thing. Second thing is really developing a clear roadmap, investment policy for Pakistan, right? Where we focus on different sectors and have a clear thought process around how we enable each of those sectors. And with the Planning Commission, with the other ministries, we're developing a program. The British High Commissioner sitting right here, I don't know where he is. There he is. He's the British High Commission through DFID and the World Bank has included us in the Prosperity Fund, right? And this is an initiative to make Pakistan a prosperous country and working with us to develop that roadmap, that investment policy that gets us there. So we're taking all the help we can because we can't do this alone. We need the best minds to work for us, work with us to make it happen, and work with all of you to make it happen. So that's the second big area that we focused on. And the third one, which is my personal passion, right? Like I said, I truly believe that innovation and entrepreneurship is the way forward for this country. We have the talent, we have the youth, and the momentum to make it happen. So my focus is, so the entrepreneurial ecosystem started taking off, right? About 5 years ago, there used to be about 100 startups a year. Now, there are over 1,000 startups coming through every year. PTCL sitting right here just set up an incubator in Peshawar, right? There's another incubator in Peshawar which is focusing on biotechnology. And guess what? That incubator produced a team which went and competed at MIT with the best scientists in the world. In biotechnology, they came number 3, right? So there is a lot of talent. We need to tap it and we need to channel it. So it's starting to happen, but the biggest gap is a lack of capital for these entrepreneurs. So we need to develop a thriving venture capital industry and a private equity industry to be able to scale some of these enterprises, to scale companies like Javed Akhai's, who's taken a Pakistani company global. I don't know if you know about the company, the Martin Dow, right? It's a Pakistani company, and he's taken it global. He's launched it in France, he's going to take it all around the world. And there are many entrepreneurs like that. There's a company called Khadi. If some of you are foreigners, go check this shop out. Amazing clothes. Why can't this be the next Zara, right? And we want to support and enable these guys through venture capital, through private equity, to help scale these guys up. I am totally confident that all our challenges are great opportunities. Our education gap, half the kids don't go to school, right? But with the smartphones, we have broadband everywhere. Just that we have only 20% smartphone penetration at this point. But in the next 2 to 3 years' time, you can have everyone with a smartphone. So whether it's education, the kind of games that are being developed, which can teach a child to learn to read and write within 40 hours of game playing, unbelievable, right? What is happening with fintech, where you have only 10% bank accounts, is a revolution that's about to happen in that space, when everybody can be included in the financial system through a smartphone. And right now, because the investments that we made, and that's again compliments to the Minister of Planning, where NADRA also, and Minister of Interior as well, where NADRA, which is the National Database Organization, where everybody's identity, right, biometrically verified, is now connected to a mobile subscriber. So it becomes so easy. You can open a bank account within 30 seconds, right? That's a revolution in the making. It used to take days, and you had to fill out like hundreds of forms, right, to open a bank account. Now, you just need a mobile phone number. This is revolutionary. People don't see the kind of opportunity we're sitting on. That's why I'm confident about Pakistan. So with that note, I'm going to thank all of you. This is a collaborative process. We all need to work together to make this. We all need to have confidence in our country and our ability to rise up. The challenges, the headwinds, this is what courage is about. When the headwinds come, you do not lose your core. You stay with your confidence. We've been resilient. We've survived a lot. We've been through very hard times, right? We've taken on challenges which everybody thought Pakistan is going to fail for the last many years. Everybody else has failed. We've stood our ground. We've come out stronger. What stopped us over the last few years was the security situation. That's drastically improved. You're seeing it on the ground. The energy situation dramatically improved. And again, I'm not going to spend too much time because it's going to be talked more about, but I'm telling you, things have changed. I was in Abu Dhabi for the last few days. I just flew in, so I haven't slept all night. So I may be mumbling a bit, but I just want to make sure that I get my messages across, and you see the sincerity that I come with. I was in Abu Dhabi for the last few days, right, in the middle of the desert, in a resort called Qasr al-Sarab, where the highest sand dunes in the world exist, with the top private equity, venture capitalists, and hedge fund. About $20 trillion worth of investment capital, right, was in that place. And you know one of the takeaways that came out in the end? And there were the 4 Pakistanis there, which were there. One was Maheen Rahman, right, who runs, this woman who runs one of the most successful mutual funds in Pakistan. Other one was Arshad Ashraf, who's the deputy CIO of Aramco, which is one of the largest, and the third one was Jawad Mia. The 4 of us were Team Pakistan there. In the end, one of the takeaways was Pakistan is the next big opportunity. And if that $20 trillion, right, if you just get a fraction of that, and this is where I'm coming, because the questions that people ask me, you know, is how do we get into the game, right? And yes, it's not as easy as you would like it to be, right? And one of the things I'm going to go work with the Planning Commission and take their help and work on is making sure that we make it so much easier for our SECP. If people want to invest in Pakistan, it should be like this. We've already made it easier. And again, credit to Dr. Ehsan Iqbal, who's made it, you know, like coming to the country was a difficult matter. He's made it easy enough that any businessman, at least from most of the countries, can get a visa on arrival, right? This is change. It's happening. So there's a long way to go, but it's happening, and it's going to happen faster than you can see, right? Like I said, in the telecom industry, from 1 million to 100 million within 5 years, I think it's that kind of time for Pakistan. So thank you, and wish you a great conference, and that's it.
Your Excellency, Mr. Naeem Zamindar, thank you so much for the very inspirational speech. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please give him a big round of applause. He's the chairman of the Board of Investments of Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, great new opportunity. Hope is Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, invest, enjoy Islamabad, and of course, go to Mr. Naeem Zamindar to ask more about investments here in Pakistan. Thank you so much, sir.